To Apex Season 14 rank changes, to conversations about the private lobbies in Apex Legends, to one of the pro players that's usually way too overly positive about Apex and thinks that we criticize them too much, I guess changing his mind and decides that he wants to criticize them as well, and also the big surprise that all the developers are teasing us for Season 14, all of that and so much more in today's video. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new as always, and let's go for a like goal of 1,111 likes, and if we hit that like goal, I got a special guest coming on the show. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. So first things first, we got to talk about this alpha intel. Apex Legends news: the owners of Dexerto put this on their Twitter page last night. We all know that the official patch notes are coming out on a Monday after Josh Medina told us these, but then he posted this saying, oh, I forgot to say, by the way, oh, how casually did you forget one of the most important things that you should have told us, that there's actually rank changes coming in Season 14 that will be in the patch notes on Monday. So many people in the comments here had their fair share of opinions of what they think needs to be changed, but one thing that we are pretty well aware of that will be changed in these ranked patch notes is the matchmaking. The pros have complained day in and day out since Split 2 has started that the matchmaking was absolutely horrid. I think even maybe since Split 1, and it was just so bad because so many plat players, so many gold players are getting stuck in not just figuratively or theoretically, but literally pred master lobbies. It's a little bit different than just playing pubs and getting master or pred 3 stacks and thinking, oh wow, I can't believe I'm in these lobbies. These are actual pred lobbies, like legit current pred lobbies, master lobbies that for whatever reason gold and plat players are having to play in. The preds have obviously been aggravated with it because they just feel like they're farming lobbies all day long. It's not very competitive, it's not very fun. Then on the flip side, obviously no gold player, no plat player wants to be playing in these lobbies. It's too sweaty for them, it's too hard for them, they're not getting anywhere, they're not getting much success, and they're not having fun, and in turn it's probably turning them away from the game, which makes a lot of sense as to why Respawn is probably going to be changing this matchmaking very soon, because they need a lot of people playing ranked. They need people constantly coming back to the game day in and day out to grind, and if the matchmaking is turning them away, then they're obviously going to fix it. So that's definitely one change that you can look to see in these ranked patch notes. One of the more liked comments on this post was saying that if they don't fix the matchmaking, I'm not even playing ranked next season. Diamonds should be playing with diamonds and masters and preds should be together. The pros can wait. They need to have longer queue times instead of playing with all of these lower level players. Someone also commented under this saying, bro, I was plat 1 and my opponents were preds. So the matchmaking has been absolutely scuffed, so it's definitely going to be good to see that fixed. Obviously the only downside of that is the pros will have to wait a little bit longer. The higher level players in pred will have to wait a little bit longer to get more matchmaking consistently. Now, even though that kind of makes sense and I think it's probably the better approach, I do worry and wonder that down the road the pros start to complain once again, as they always do. Hey man, this, you know, matchmaking is way too slow, the queue times are way too slow, I have to spend 20 minutes on stream, 15 minutes on stream, 10 minutes on stream just talking to chat because I can't get a game. They need to fix this, put us back in diamond lobbies, and then you guys know the pattern that happens after that, because we've already gone through this, right? We've already gone through, I think, Season 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5, where people were having very long queue times, and then people got complaining, people got to talking on Twitter, and then some pros got involved, the devs got involved as well, and then boom, there it goes. Months down the road, the cycle repeats, and we're in the same scenario again. I also believe this is probably another reason as to why they're kind of being skittish on making the control mode permanent, maybe even some other game modes full time, because I just don't think that they want to disperse the community too much. They want to have everybody still playing ranked, still playing trios and stuff like that. I think they're scared to send more people away into other game modes, and I think they may think that that's probably going to result in slower matchmaking once again. I also read a couple comments though where apparently a lot of people are getting upset and tired of constantly being rank changes. They just want something more consistent. They want something to be set in stone. They're tired of it always changing every single season. I mean, in my mind, if they have a greater idea, I definitely want it to be the most consistent possible. But I can see how you can get tired of constantly having the rank system and point values change every single season. Regardless, I don't think you can argue the fact right now that we need some type of a change, at least with the matchmaking. Speaking of changes, it's time for Respawn to change their delivery date. It takes way too long. Look at all of the false hope and false promises back in 2021. April the 4th is actually on my birthday, by the way, where Apex Legends News Alpha Intel said Apex Legends private matches are going to be made available for all players in the future. They quoted, "We'll have private matches across all platforms and you can play different games or you can organize your own events." And look at all the people in the comments so excited about this. The false hope, the false promises. Even Retrospect here over a year and a half ago said we needed this 7 seasons ago. The servers can barely survive in the current state. I really hope this doesn't make the servers worse. And what's so bad about this is a year and a half later, you could honestly say the exact same thing if that was posted today, because we still don't have private lobbies. We still don't have these private custom servers. The servers are still in a really bad state. And Other Games also responded here saying, yeah, it's still a gate capped and randomly giving out out people of their choosing. It's a really sus way of doing it currently. And it's definitely weird because I see people all the time that come up to me and say, hey Jay, if you need some codes, let me know. I can host some events for you. And I'm like, oh, you know, they must be a pretty big name. And I look, and no disrespect whatsoever, but it's like just this random guy who doesn't even do any content. I'm like, how in the world did you get codes? I've applied like 4 times and I'm trying to do community nights and give away big prizes for tournaments and stuff, and I can't even get a response from them. It's very weird the way they're gatekeeping this. Regardless, I've said this for years. It's 2022, bro. Back in the day, it was very common to have private matches. No one batted an eye when someone brought private matches. Every game was bringing private matches. Now it's 2022 and we have to beg for private matches. Same thing can be said about theater mode, replay mode. Someone actually commented under that post saying, I hope we get a replay mode for all players as well. You know, where did that technology go? Why have we just gone backwards? So if you're wanting to know what the latest is with Apex Legends private lobbies, Thornton Smash retweeted this talking about how crazy it is, you know, being that it's been over a year and a half ago, and Alpha Intel responded to him saying, low-key, I forgot about this. Haven't heard anything about private matches in a very long time. So that's not good news at all. But we do know that there's this thing that they've been teasing about, a new feature coming in season 14. And everyone asks every single season, is it finally the time, right? Is it finally when we're going to be getting private lobbies? Or is it finally going to be whenever we get, you know, the 120 hertz on next gen consoles? Is it finally going to be cross progression? Okay. So we already know a couple things. Like I said in the last video, we know it's not going to be cross progression. We know it's not going to be control mode being permanent. You would think if private lobbies were going to be a thing, that Alpha Intel would have heard about it in the media press kit that they were giving in the early access, and maybe, you know, they would have said something already. So considering the fact they said they haven't heard anything in a very long time, a little bit disappointing. However, maybe they kept it secret. Fingers crossed for Monday. Maybe that is the time when we'll actually see it. Thornton Smash also said here about that surprise that they said they had, that if the surprise ends up being something stupid in season 14, like, you know, little stickers or something, then we're gonna riot. And also, you got to be careful whenever they say stuff like this, because season 11 they talked about all those new game modes they couldn't wait for us to play that season, and then during season 11 we got zero new game modes. Just letting you know, don't always trust what they say. And we don't really ever know why these things happen. There's a couple people at Respawn that I've talked to privately, and you know, they get frustrated as well. You know, that some of them have actually told me, hey, we totally understand the frustrations. We're frustrated just as much as you are. We want this stuff to come out like we said that we wanted it to as well. So obviously there's something going on. Who knows what it is? Most people seem to be pretty quick to put the blame on EA, and maybe EA is holding them back. Obviously the Respawn developers that I'm talking to about this, they can't tell me exactly what's going on, but they just said that they're frustrated as well sometimes. Obviously you got to remember, the people that show up to work obviously want to do the best job they can. You know, they're not coming to work and saying, you know, I hope this game dies, screw this game. They want to make people happy. So I very rarely think it's actually them. I think it's something up higher than them, something that's just out of their control that they can't change. And so when you're talking to individual developers, you know, maybe be a little bit less harsh. I think it's more of a higher up thing with maybe EA or the tip top of Respawn, but I'm not entirely sure, and I don't want to throw any hate towards anyone that I'm not exactly sure is responsible for it. But the last couple of months have definitely not been the best for Apex Legends. Even to Cocoa Puffs, the guy who's usually pretty positive about Apex, he's usually like anti-hate towards Respawn, and I get it. I'm kind of anti-hate towards Respawn. I'm not trying to hate on nobody, but I do want to call things out when it happens. You know, when someone's going wrong, when something is being done very badly and people are outraged, we need to talk about it. I think it's good for people to be, you know, waking up every now and then. I think it's good to have some hot discussions every now and then. Keeps people on their toes, keeps people doing the best they can, and I think it keeps people in check. So I'm glad that Noko actually said this on Twitter last night, said here's a hot take, but I honestly think that Respawn keeps coming out with these scanning legends and won't nerf them because they know how bad and far gone the audio issues are. Like, genuinely, I can produce 30 clips in one stream of audio issues every single day and nothing will ever get done about it. So it's actually good to see, because this is a really big issue. Tech also responded here saying, I seriously doubt the devs think, hey, let's introduce scan legends to compensate for our horrible audio engine. I just think casual players enjoy these types of legends and becomes too easy to play. So a little bit of a disagreement there. Obviously, I actually do agree with Tech here. I don't think they're actually coming up with these new legends because of how bad the audio engine is. I think they have high hopes for the audio engine in the future, and maybe they think and believe in themselves that they can actually fix it one of these days. One of the EA guys as well that helps run the ALGS stuff responded here and said, yeah, pretty much that's what it is. Now, even though Noko said it was a hot take and that he kind of believes it, I don't really know if he actually believes that. I think he was just really trying to throw shade at the audio and how bad it is, and I'm glad that he did that. Now, lastly, I've been seeing a lot of people ask their community how they would rate season 13 on a scale from 1 to 10, and most people on this thread from Apex Legends News was very bad. 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10. I saw so many low numbers. I did not really see anything above a 6. It was really sad to see. So I'm actually very interested to see what you guys have to say down in the comment section below. How would you rate it from 1 to 10? Make sure to leave a like on the video. We're trying to hit 1,111 likes to get a special guest on the show as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as always. Take care of yourselves. It's Vibe or Die, only positivity. And until the next time, I'll see you all later, Gators.